Alright, let's do this. Now, everybody and their mother knows about this entire Slazo situation. But for those of you who don't know about the situation, I'm gonna explain. Now, for those of you who don't know this man, this is Michael, but he's well known as Slazo. Now, before all of this went down, Slazo had hit the 800,000 subscriber mark. However, a few days later, Twitter artist, but also Slazo's ex, Fizzy Pop, exposed Slazo. What Shay had said in her twitlonger was that Slazo would abuse her verbally and sexually. Shay goes into detail describing what Michael did to her during the course of that relationship, and she even had screenshots to back up her claims. I would've still eaten you out and still, oh my god, bro, you just posted cringe, you were going to lose a subscriber. Oh yeah, and he did lose subscribers. From the stats I can see right now, Slazo was losing subs up until 749,000 subscribers. But just days before this even started, Slazo had just hit 800,000 subscribers, which tells me that Slazo lost over 50,000 subscribers from all of this. And the reason why I would say Slazo lost so many subs is because of the amount of support that other creators gave to Che. Now, to be honest, at the time of all of this happening, I didn't really support anyone in the matter. In the matter of fact, my initial reaction to all of this is just this gif. Now, fast forward to later this month, and Slazo releases a video pretty much debunking everything that Shay says in her statement. Now, I'm going to be playing a very small snippet of the video. If you'd like to check it out, I'll leave a link in the description. So let's take a look.
Next she goes on to describe our first date, where she says, Michael on our first date touched me in a cinema, despite me never kissing someone before. I assumed this was normal, although I was uncomfortable by it and let it happen. And now this confused me when I read it at first because it's not really how it happened. It's true that we did meet on our first date and we did go to the cinema. That much is true. And it was very awkward. We'd only talked online before that. Neither of us really knew what we were doing too well. We went into the cinema, we had our first kiss, our teeth hit each other's, neither of us knew what we were doing, and I was willing to call it quits there, when she pulls my hand down and says to touch her, which is a pretty long way from how she portrays it in her version of the story. In fact, she was actually the one who brought up the entire idea of doing anything in the cinema. It was her idea, and I had no reason to believe she wasn't as in on this as I was, so I'm not sure why she made it look like this.
Now that we all know Shay manipulated it and lied about the story, we all trust Slazo once again. And honestly, what I'm trying to say is that we all got played. We all look like clowns right now. All these smart people that made videos on Slazo look really stupid now.
And I didn't feel the need to really cover it. There's not much else to say other than, yeah, rape is bad. But then of course, the incels and the die-hard Slazo fans came to his rescue, and it inspired me to just debunk all of their stupid points. So yeah, here we go. Cue the Leafy intro.
Actually, Madam has always been pretty fucking stupid. Now, we all know for sure now that Slazo is not a rapist. And I know you guys are currently looking at the title, and I know what you're thinking. What can we learn from Slazo? In the matter of fact, what can we learn from this person, or this person? There are a lot of people we can learn from in this situation. For example, 2 months ago, Pro Jared's wife, Heidi, exposed Jared for cheating on her with another YouTuber. And that YouTuber is Commander Holly. And we all know that everybody was super mad at Jared for this cheating scandal, so we canceled him. Until Jared came out with a statement saying that Heidi and him were in a polyamorous relationship. Basically means consensual cheating. Another example is that Toddy Westbrook made a 41-minute video on James Charles exposing him. The reason why Toddy made these videos is because James Charles was promoting a rival to her company. But the reason why we canceled James Charles was because of his predatory actions towards Toddy's waiter, whom Toddy described as straight. However, James Charles came out and made a 40-minute video explaining everything and even debunking these predatory actions. But he even told us that the waiter was not straight, but bisexual. Now, do you see the pattern here? Every single person on the screen right now was cancelled. But there's a reason why I'm making a video on all of their cancellations right now. All of these people were cancelled, but because nobody listened to their side of the story. Now, let's talk about a situation that I recently made a video on. Now, back in May, I released a video about a well-known TikToker, also a close friend of mine, ThickBeefCake69. She was called out by another TikTok user known as Bithoeji for saying the N-word and various other things.
She's blamed her eating disorder and on someone else, and said that if she was gonna kill herself, it would be someone else's fault.
In my video, I debunked Bithoeji's claims of Marley being a racist and a terrible person. I exposed Bithoeji for manipulating and lying about the story. Because of what Bithoeji said, Marley was cancelled. Lies about her being racist were spread around until she died. All because people love to see a little bit of negative criticism. Now, after I released my video, Bithoeji came out with a statement on her TikTok.
I'm about to head out for work, but for those of everyone who is saying that I'm doing this for clout, I exposed Bithoeji when I had 2K, Natasha when I had like 15K. I don't need clout.
If you didn't do it for clout, then what did you do it for? Because by the time you exposed the Bithoeji, the Right Opinions video was out. And by the time you quote-unquote exposed Natasha, so many people had already come out about her. At the time of you exposing Marley, she had 170,000 followers. And if you weren't doing this for clout, then you wouldn't have said this in your video.
So, just want you guys to know who you're standing.
So you were obviously aiming this towards Marley's huge fan base. Now, if you really only wanted to put out how bad of a friend Marley was, why would you care who stands her? You know, that shouldn't matter for someone who's trying to expose someone for who they really are. In the matter of fact, neither Toddy or Che said anything about their target's fans. Che did not say like, "Aw, Slazo fans are standing a rapist." Be real, Elizabeth, you're doing it for the clout. Now, before you guys go ahead and cancel Bithoeji, I would like to see what she has to say, how she would defend herself. Cause you know, in this video, I'm honestly trying to teach a lesson about cancel culture. You know, how we shouldn't simply jump to conclusions. So honestly, I just want to hear Bithoeji's side of the story. You know, I honestly hope we can learn from this situation, you know, the Slazo or Marley or James Charles situation. We should not jump to conclusions. We should at least wait for the other person's side of the story. And honestly, I think that should go for the entire commentary community. We shouldn't immediately make videos on them when one statement comes out. We should wait for the other person's statement. And that's honestly all I have to say.